Okay, hi guys, my name is Alex and
I'm Jalen.
yeah, so today we shall be showing you how we're gonna make soap using one of the most amazing product.
Wild African sea moss.
Yes, you had it.
So there's so many benefits to wild African sea moss. 91 minerals that make up the human body.
Yes, so you can Google it and check how many minerals that are available and the benefits of sea moss to a human body. So we shall dive that down into the details of how we're gonna make a soap and how we're gonna make sea moss soap. So before we dive into, we have to think about what we need to make soap. Basically, soap is a salt. We shall be doing cold process, which is basically we use fats. It can be animal fats, it can be vegetable fats. So these are literally oils. And then we introduce an alkaline, which is either sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide for the cold process. So we're using potassium hydroxide. They are mainly pellets, but using caustic soda, which is sodium hydroxide, they are mainly granules or pellets sometimes, but mostly they are small granules, or it comes in the form of a solution which is already dissolved in the water and it's called lye. So this time around we don't have the caustic granules, we have lye solution which is already ready to go. So before we dive down into, let's see how we protect ourselves in order to be safe, because lye is corrosive. It can burn your skin, it can damage your clothes, and it can damage your container too. So let's see how we be safe. First, because I have hair that can fall anytime and I don't want to give you a sample of my soap or sell my product, if you want to do it as a business, then you have your hair in a new soap. So that's why I will cover my head just to make sure that if there is any hair that is gonna fall, it's not gonna fall into what I'm making. And of course, I'm gonna protect my eyes when I'm mixing, because we're gonna mix. We don't want any particle to jump over, and at the end it lands in our eyes. So it may sound too ridiculous, but it has ever happened, and it was not good. Yeah, so I will be using this. You can use any protective gear, professional or normal ones. And from there, we need to protect our skin, because we're gonna be using our hands. We don't want lye to touch our skin because it's corrosive, it is itchy. So that's why we need gloves.
I have some gloves up here as well.
So normal gloves are okay, latex gloves. You can still have heavy duty, like he has. But with me, I'm okay with latex gloves. You're dressing up like, are you going to deliver baby? So now we are dressed up, ready. We are safe now. It's not that corrosive, but this we are already safe enough. So I am putting on this to protect my clothes inside. So if in case it spills, doesn't touch my clothes, and then hands protected, eyes protected, and the hair, in case there is any hair rose, doesn't fall in what I'm gonna make. So the items we're gonna need, of course, we're gonna need sodium hydroxide, as I said, and we have it here is as a lye solution. You can already tell sodium, and then we're gonna need the oil. So we're gonna use the vegetable oil. So this time around we have olive oil. So you can do any oil, any vegetable oil, any fat, animal oil, animal fat. So all we need is oil. So this is olive oil, but today we want our soap to be very rich. So we rather use we're gonna use olive oil, but with other brands, other oils in addition. So we're gonna use.
We have this blend here, which is made of organic coconut oil, olive oil, and sustainable RSPO palm oil.
So these are 3 oils: olive oil, coconut oil, and palm oil. And meanwhile, we have another video coming up. If you want to know how to use turmeric in making soap, you are also very welcome. This is the right place. And follow so that you can know when we post the video from turmeric. And so we have already shown you the other kind we're gonna use, which is the sodium hydroxide in a lye form, and the 3 brands of oil. Then we're gonna need mixing containers. So then we have the mixing and measuring containers. So this is what we're gonna use to mix our soap, because at the end we're gonna mix the lye solution and the oils to make soap. So this is a mixing container. It has to be plastic or stainless steel. You cannot use aluminium because lye will eat aluminium, and at the end you won't have soap. You have a weird chemical salt that is very, very toxic to you and your skin. So make sure you use a plastic or use stainless container. So we're gonna need measuring jars. We have a good one here. It's calibrated in both milliliters and ounces. So if you are in America, you probably measure in ounces. Then if you are in Africa and Europe, you probably measure in milliliters and liters. So this jar is both, it has both sides. So what do we choose to measure with today?
Today we're going to use ounces.
So my friend understands ounces, so we're gonna go to his, we're gonna favor him today. So mainly then we're gonna have what to use to mix, because we're gonna need a mixing container. So today we have a simple blender. You can buy it anywhere. And remember, it is stainless. This part is stainless steel and the blender is plastic. So this is safe to use for our soap. And then we have made a soap. Of course, how will that soap look like at the end? So you need a mold. So this is a mold. After we need our soap to get a shape that we want, we're gonna use these rectangular molds. You can do any size you want. You can have these, you can have a heart like, you can have oval, you can have a big bar. This is another mold. So if you want a big bar, you can use this one. Because this is wide, it's rubber. It's better to have another wooden one so it doesn't deform once you pour your soap in before it hardens. And then I think that's all, besides that we shall need a scent. How we want our soap to smell, or to the scent we want to give to our soap. You can use essential oil, you can use perfumes, and you can just have you can choose whatever you want to use, either perfumes or essential oils.
Today we're going to be doing a lavender and sandalwood.
And so that's all that we're gonna need to make a soap. And so how do you determine how much caustic soda or lye solution we're gonna use? And how do we know how much oil that we're gonna use? And at what rate should we mix those two? Yeah, let's take a short break and we shall be back. Oh, hi. My name is Alex. I have 2 things I want to ask from you. 1, please hit that subscribe button if you really love this video, and
share as well if you think it's going to be of importance to someone. Two, if you really want to learn how to make this product and the more other products that we shall be teaching in the future, please let us know in the comment, write it down in the comment, and then we shall reach out to you, and from there we can pick up the conversation. Then you can start the training anywhere you want, and anytime you want, and in any way. You can start your own business on around beauty and cosmetics.
Okay, welcome back from the break. And today we have a simple way to calculate all that, because technology allows us to do that. You can use your phone, you can use your computer to calculate that. I know the ratios of it because I have done this so many times for years. I have made this for more than 10 years now. So I can literally give you any ratios that you're gonna use, but because we want to be basic, so let's just simplify everything and we use a calculator. So the calculator is the link is in the description, but if you want to really know the details how to use this calculator, there is another video that is coming and we shall show the details of how to use this calculator in full details. So let's dive in and put the measurements that we want to use. So we're gonna name our soap or our recipe. So what do you think we should use?
Wild African sea moss soap.
So we're gonna choose our recipe title or our soap. It's optional, you don't have to, but we're gonna give it a name. So it is Wild African sea moss soap, and it's created by, of course, Jalen and Alex. And because we are favoring my friend today, we're gonna count everything in ounces. You have option to use ounces, pounds, grams, or kilograms, let me say. And we have the option to either use sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide or a solution of lye. And then we specify the ratio, which was already shown on the container, the ratio of mixture. Ours today is 50-50, so we're gonna put that. We're gonna choose sodium hydroxide, is the type of the lye solution we're gonna do, and then we're gonna choose the concentration, which is 50, and then liquid of choice. So if you have caustic soda as granules, you can use milk to make your rice solution. You can use tea, you can have different herbs, and then you mix, you use that as a solution to dissolve caustic soda to just make your rice solution. So because we already have a rice solution, how much water we use, it doesn't matter now. So, but we shall use water as our solution, and then we're gonna use our scent, lavender. We chose the lavender, it's an essential oil. Then types of oil. So this 16, the volume of this bottle is 16 ounces. So that's that's a pound, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it is around 400 something grams, approximately a half a liter. Approximately half a liter. So we shall input, because it is blended on a ratio of 1:1. So we shall say that coconut oil is 5 ounces, right? Mm-hmm. Then olive oil 5 ounces, and palm oil 5 ounces, because it is a blend of 3 oils. So after we input that, we shall run our calculator, which gives us the total. It calculates the perimeters of workability of what we have to deal with. So these perimeters in red, let me say red, it's a little bit pink. You can say red or pink. But this first one, this is a hard soap. This is a laundry detergent perimeter. So when you're making a laundry soap, this is at the perimeters you choose. So when you're making, after that, there is another one from 5 to 8. That's if you are making a bathing soap or a soap that you're gonna use on your skin. So these are the perimeters. So these show how much excess fat or excess oils, that after the end, how much oils are available in your soap. So that not everything really completely reacted when you mixed the oil and the lime. So these help because when you are taking a bath, you don't want to scrape off all the oils on your skin and your skin is left dry, and that's not nice for your skin. You have to leave it a little bit moisturized and soft. So that's why it choose from 5 to 8 on the rate of saponification. So that means if we choose 6, which is in the middle of our soft soap, that means we work with 4 ounces and 4 ounces 0.34. So our measuring scale can really measure that. 4 ounces, can you measure 4 ounces and 0.34? Then if you go down here on the 9 and 10, that soap is it's never gonna harden. It's gonna be very soft. If you leave it on the surface, it's gonna remain there stuck. It's a soap that you really don't want to have. It's a soap it gets used up very fast because it's soft, very soft. And you also don't want it up on 0 or 1 because this is a soap that is very, very hard, and when you use it on your skin, at the end you feel your hands very dry and the oils are all scraped off. So we want to make it, because it's a small soap, we have to make sure it is soft and it's skin friendly. That's why we chose number 6, which gives us 4.34 ounces. Now, there are instructions. After we calculate everything, it tells you room temperature of the oils, or at what temperature they have to be, and here it says between 100 to 125 Fahrenheit. So if you do centigrade, you can convert from centigrade to Fahrenheit or from Fahrenheit to centigrade, whatever that is favorable for you. But if you are in centigrade, that's about 45 to 55. That's the range. So our oils need to be a little bit warmer. And then we get the total mass at the end of mixing everything. We get how big the soap will be. Everything is estimated here and calculated. So at the end, our soap will be will be 18.75 ounces. So that's the expected soap. But because we're gonna add CMOS, after or during the saponification. Just when saponification is happening, you can add CMOS because it's already a gel, and we're gonna add it after saponification so we do not interrupt the saponification process. Remember, CMOS contains 92 minerals. So we don't want a chemical reaction where this caustic soda is going to replace a few minerals that are available in the CMOS, and at the end we have some weird reactions. Yeah. So we make sure we introduce CMOS gel after the saponification process, which means after the reaction of the soap and the fats and the alkaline. So let's dive into mixing.
Let's make some soap. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add the oil
to our mixing container.
Into our mixing container. And again, we're using 16 ounces. So 16 ounces of 3 different oils, which are going to be 5.3 ounces of each oil we put into our mixing bowl. have it.
So this is a blend of 3 oils, and this is what we're going to be working with. And so this is our lye solution. That's how much we have to deal with. So it doesn't have to be 1-to-1, no. That's how the calculator says. So, and we need a mixing stick. Take it. Good to go. So, and one thing that you have to be cautious, you have to pour lye solution into the oils, not vice versa. We have to agree on this. You pour this into the oils, not this into this. So even you see that we use different containers to remind us that we pour this into that. Why? Because if you pour this into this, one, it's gonna be hard for you because the first bunch of oil you introduce into they're gonna harden as fast as you can, then you're gonna end up with excess. You're gonna end up with excess fat, or you're gonna have like a very hard concentrated soap, then with a lot of oil. So at the end you may lose everything. So let's pour this into this, and as I pour, he will be mixing because it's a blender. It doesn't need to move around. He can just press the button and we wait. And it's gonna get hot. So as you mix, you will feel that it's hardening because it has especially palm oil. Palm oil reacts so fast. You have to keep mixing, and you have to make sure that you see what we call trace. Trace is when the soap starts attaching, like the mixture starts attaching on the container, walls of the container. Then you realize that the mixture has already changed, and if you take long to realize that there is a trace, the soap will start hardening in your container. If you especially have some heavy oils like palm oil in your blend, because palm oil hardens so fast. So you have to mix and be conscious that it's gonna start attaching itself on the walls of the container or the mixing stick. So it's called a trace. So once you reach that level is when you put the essential oils and you introduce your CMOS in. Then you have only a small window to mix everything as fast as you can. Then you have to pour everything in your mold. And then you wait for 21 days or 4 weeks. That's when, if you do cold process, that's when you are able to use the soap. It takes long to mature. It's called immature. So you have to bear with that process. If you want to do hot process, it is faster, but it is another process different from this. So for now, we have to mix. Keep mixing.
Let's just mix until it gets to where it's at. Put out this mixing.
Don't forget that this video has just crossed from here. It has not ended. Please watch part 2. We didn't want the video to be that long, so we wanted to have 2 parts. So wait for part 2 and we will subscribe, so when we upload the next one, you see the notification and you can complete your course. See you in another video.